So, the Fabian Society was founded in London in 1884, named after Quintus Fabius Maximus, the Roman general famous for defeating Hannibal, not through direct confrontation, but through patience, attrition, and the slow wearing down of the enemy. The name was chosen deliberately. It was the strategy. Their emblem was wolf in sheep's clothing. They chose this themselves. It is worth sitting with that for a moment. An organization that selected as its own symbol the image of predatory intent disguised as harmless appearance, deception as the founding principle, the operational method, the thing they were most proud of. Not imposed by critics, self selected, they were proud of it. The strategy was simple and devastating. Do not storm the institutions, infiltrate them, permeate them, their word gradually, patiently, over generations, placing Fabian trained people in positions of influence in government, academia, media, and the civil service until the institutions produce Fabian outcomes without anyone having to announce a revolution. The revolution would happen, but slowly, invisibly, bureaucratically, democratically. By the time anyone noticed, the institutions would already have changed. They founded the School of London of Economics in 1895, the institution that trained generations of politicians, civil servants, economists, and journalists across the entire Commonwealth and beyond. They were instrumental in creating the Labour Party in 1900. They shaped the BBC, they designed the British welfare state. George Bernard Shaw, H.G. Wells, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, Keir Starmer, the list of the Fabians who shaped British and global politics. Not a footnote. That is not a footnote. It is the history of the 20th century's left, stated plainly. Starmer is not an accident or evolution of labor. He's the current expression of a project that has been running for 140 years, patient, institutional, and entirely consistent with the original strategy. The Fabian Society is the Gramsci long march through the institutions, but English so better dressed and better funded. And 50 years earlier, Gramsci theorized that the Fabians had already been doing. The Fabians are the practitioners. The Frankfurt School provided the philosophy. The Fabian Society provided the operational model. And the French theory provided the cultural packaging. Three projects, different origins, identical destinations. The dismantling of Western civilization's foundations through the patient occupation of its institutions. What makes the Fabian model more dangerous than revolutionary socialism is precisely its smoothness. Revolution is visible. You can point at that barricades. The Fabian approach produces no barricades, only gradually changing curricula, subtly shifting editorial lines, incrementally revised civil service guidelines, and a succession of reasonable sounding reforms that individually seem modest and collectively amount to the transformation of everything. The wolf in sheep's clothing is not changing just a predator in disguise. It is a predator that has learned to speak the sheep's language, adopt the sheep's manners, express concern for the sheep's welfare, and gradually rewrite the rules of the flock from inside. By the time you notice, the wolf has been in the room for decades. It was wearing the sheep's clothing for so long that some people forgot it wasn't sheep. The deception was no incidental. It was a method. The wolf in the sheep's clothing is Abluda with a long-term strategy. Zachlomania, the 100 years plan, the systematic life, the think tank, and endowment. They were patient, they were deliberate, they were effective. And the civilization that produced Magna Carta, the Bill of Rights, and Churchill barely noticed until it was very late.